Hey dreamers, this is Jade. Welcome back to my channel. We are continuing on with getting my book journal set up for the year. So let's get into the next spot that we need to be, and that is here. And as you can see, I've already done a little bit of prep. Basically, this is going to be my 26 in 2026, the books that I want to read in 2026. And here will be all of the books. I'm going to put all of the icons of all the books I read for the entire year. And instead of making a where I did in this one, where I split it up and made it, what do you call it? With the panels, of course, the name of it escapes me right now. But basically, what I mean is I cut here and made these pages to do it. So the title would just go over the top. And I wouldn't have to, like, do the title a million times. I'm not going to do this. I'm just going to let it be. So what I mean by that is I will not be cutting anything, and the title will be here, and then over here I'll just put continue because I just don't feel like it. So yeah, so that's what we're going to do here. And then here, this will be the books that I DNF. So I'm going to try to get all of this set up in this video, possibly more, but for now, this. So we shall see. And then also what I'm going to change from last year to, or this year, well, no, actually 2024. I keep forgetting I did this in 2024 and not 2025. But the way I did the books, as you can see, is I just marked these corner spots here. This time I think I'm going to just do a full box. It's the first time I'm doing this. I'm not sure how it's going to pan out, but I'm either going to use this or this, and I'm probably going to try both to see which one I like best. So we'll see. We're going to get all of this done, and hopefully it turns out the way I want it to look. So I did like some preliminary sketching out with some pencil and stuff like that. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. So just popping in to say that I forgot that both sides is like, I can fit 25 books here. And I was doing this as if I was creating this here, like the books for the year. So I'm going to need all of that real estate. Here, I don't need that. I just need to make one more book here, which will be 20, 26, 20. God, can I talk? Will be 26 books. So the rest of this, I'm probably going to cover up with some like decorations or book pages or whatever. Completely forgot that I was doing 26 books here. So yeah, let me get this done. As I said, the other side is 25 books because it's 5 by 5. Like as far as counting down and across. And if anybody is interested, the way I measured this out is I'm doing 4 boxes across. This is the Traveler's Notebook by Archer and Olive. So I'm doing 4 dots across and 7 dots down, if I'm not mistaken. Hold on, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down. 4 across, 6 down. And I do believe the measurements for the book is like 1 by 0.625, which is 5/8. So yeah, let me make sure it's, yeah. So it's 1 inch long, 1 inch long by 0.625 across. And that's how I measured the books when I was measuring the spaces here. So let's make sure that they fit. So the first book that I want to get done, and I do need to go in and make, what do you call it? I need to go in and, hold on. Okay, as I was saying, I need to go back in and make little check marks at the bottom so I can check them off as I read them. The first book I am really hoping to get to in 2026 is A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms by George R.R. Martin, because I do believe the HBO show is coming out in January. So I do want to make sure I get that read before I start watching the show. Read before I start watching the show. Let me get all the books here. I did end up printing them out in alphabetical order, except for one. Bits and pieces, which I missed, was put at the end, but I'm going to try to make sure I remember to put it in alphabetical order once I get to it. So, yeah. So let's get the books all filled in. Okay, so I realized that I accidentally printed this one twice. So what I'm going to do is leave a spot, because I still want them in alphabetical order. And I'm going to put the book cover Stolen Sharpie Revolution here. So when I get that printed out, it'll go there. And then I'm going to continue on getting the other 2 books that I want to read in 2026 down. So let's go ahead and do that. what I'm going to set up for this batch of videos here. So I have my DNF books. As you can see, I've smudged my glue over here. I'm going to have to find something to either cover that up, or I have a glue erase shemangi somewhere around here, but I have no idea where it is right now. Anyway, so this is it for my DNF books of the year, because there will be some books I do not finish reading. I just will not torture myself. There's too many books out here to be reading something I am not enjoying. So, and then of course, coming back, this is my continued for 2026 in books. And basically, this is just where I'm going to put icons of all the books that I read for the year. I love seeing that visually. Last year, it's the Dutch Door. That's what I'm thinking of. Last year, and I keep saying last year, 2024. In 2024, my reading journal, I did the Dutch Door spread. I didn't feel like doing all the cutting and all that this year, so I just did it like this. And I've given myself enough room for 100 books, as I said before. And this will be overflow just in case I happen to read over 100 books. I'm not anticipating that, but just in case. So yeah. And then of course here are my 26 books that I want to read in 2026. And as I said before, I accidentally printed this book off twice. I don't know why or even how I did that. So I will come here and fill that in when I print off the last book that I want to read. And I managed to get all of this in alphabetical order. So yes. So looking forward to reading all of these books in 2026. I did manage to read all of the books I wanted to read in 2025. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to do all of that in 2026. If not, I think I will roll it over to 2027. So we'll see how that goes. I do want to read A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms first, simply because I do believe they are coming out with the HBO series soon in January. And I want to make sure I read the book before I actually start watching the show, because that's what I do with George R.R. Martin books that are turned into actual series. So yeah, anyway, so that is it for my setups for this batch of journaling for my book journal. I have more that I need to do. So once I am ready and have like preliminary stuff set up for that, I will get that done and share with you all. If you have any comments or questions about anything, please leave those below. I trust you all have been safe and well, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.